WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. We're learning more about a deadly Monroe County plane crash today. Federal investigators are there investigating what happened. WCBI's Quentin Smith has been following this story and joins us live with the very latest. Quentin.
Joey, the National Transportation Safety Board had a press conference here at the Monroe County Airport earlier today. Now, the NTSB says it can take them up to 18 months before they determine the exact cause of this accident. And now the NTSB is actually going to be in town for the next few days investigating this situation. But what we learned today was the plane was in the air for approximately 1 minute prior to it crashing. I'm told the plane, when it first took off, it took a shallow right turn, then collided into multiple trees in a wooded area back behind this airport. And now, just a few minutes ago, the wreckage from the plane was actually brought into one of the storage units here at the airport. And I'm told investigators will tomorrow go in and look at the airport. They'll examine things such as the fuel system, the engine, and other items just to see whether or not the plane was operational or not. And also they'll also investigate how many flying miles the pilot had, as well as the weather. They're going to look to see if the weather played a factor in this accident or not. Now, 73-year-old Richard Justice of Hatley was the pilot, and it was one of the victims in yesterday's crash. And I'm told he's well known in the community. And today I spoke with a childhood friend of Justice who says he's still in shock that his friend is now no longer here.
Early Tuesday morning, 73-year-old Richard Justice and a passenger took off from the Monroe County Airport in this plane. The plane was flying through a low cloud deck just after takeoff, but then, shortly afterwards, it came crashing down into a wooded area not far from the airport. Justice's untimely death is sending shock waves throughout this entire community.
It was unbelievable.
Larry Gray was childhood friends with Justice. The two have known each other for 65 years now.
I grew up just shortly, probably a mile from where he grew up, and played with his brothers. He was a Christian man, well-respected community and the aviation field.
Gray says ever since they were teenagers, Justice always had aspirations of becoming a pilot.
Started his life out as a crop duster, moved up to twin-engine planes, flying for corporations, and was still doing that when he had the plane accident.
Gray owns a convenience store in Hatley. He says Justice would often come by to buy a few candy bars and to just sit and talk with him.
He was a good man, never heard anything bad on him. He will be greatly missed by the community, his family.
Gray is still having a hard time wrapping his mind around this tragic death. And though he hates he can no longer see his childhood friend again, he knows Justice is in a much better place, smiling down on him.
I will miss him at church. He went to church with us, and his smiling face was there every Sunday, and really enjoyed being around him.
Now, Justice's body is currently being held at the Cleveland Moffitt Funeral Home in Amory, and the second victim's name still isn't being released at this time due to the family's request. For now, reporting live in Monroe County, Quentin Smith, back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks a lot, Quentin. Time now to turn our attention to weather, and meteorologist Jacob Dickey joins us with your first look.
Today was beautiful out there. We can see on our Columbus Skycam lots of sunshine, some clouds mixed in there. It felt great out there. It almost felt a little bit like summer. We got temperatures into the 80s across the area, and so it was really nice indeed. Right now, as we look across the area, temperatures are warm, and tonight we're going to stay warm. 64 will be our low tonight. We do get some storms. Coming up, we're going to talk about the threat for severe weather tomorrow, as well as what you can expect.
All right, thanks a lot. Steel Dynamics officially opens its paint line with more than 9,000 color options. Groundbreaking for the $100 million facility was January 2016. The painted steel will be used for everything from garage doors to lighting fixtures. SDI says the 275,000 square foot building is projected to be paid for in 2 years. The first painted coil left the paint line this past December.
SDI did the perfect thing. When markets were slow, they expanded, and now that markets are picking up, home buyers are picking up, appliances, products that they make, air conditioners are on higher demand now because the economy is picking up. They are poised and ready to grow.
About 45 people work at SDI's new paint line. The Mississippi legislature wraps up the regular session for 2017, but there's some unfinished business. A number of bills passed this year, including House Bill 645, which would increase penalties for anyone who intentionally harms a first responder, and the consolidation of a number of school districts, including the Chickasaw County and Houston districts. The legislature did not develop a new funding formula for public education or fully fund the current MAEP model. Lawmakers did not pass budgets for the Mississippi Department of Transportation and the Attorney General's office. Now Governor Phil Bryant must call a special session. The state's highways and bridges are a big concern with lawmakers. Now they have to find a way to pay for that construction. We talked with Governor Bryant about and a state lawmaker about what could be ahead in the special session.
Arkansas looked at about $85 million into their general fund from their lottery. A lot of Mississippians are going to Louisiana and Arkansas and Tennessee buying lottery tickets. This is something that we can't stop people from buying lottery tickets. We can only make them travel. So it's something that I'm interested in. I hope to talk to the leadership about it.
The infrastructure of the state being maintained and and improved upon. I'm hoping to see the renovation and repair for our institutions of higher learning and other agency buildings being cared for. I'm hoping to see the Attorney General's budget being provided for, and I'm hoping to see the educational piece put in place that we need in order to educate our children.
Bryant says now is a cooling off period for lawmakers. He says once a plan is worked out with House and Senate leaders, legislators will be called in for the special session. The Mississippi Highway Patrol continues to be short-staffed. Department of Public Safety leaders have been lobbying the legislature for a new trooper school, and lawmakers agreed to pay for one. WCBI's Victoria Bailey spends the day with some troopers and joins us live in the studio with more. Victoria?
Monday, lawmakers approved a trooper school, the first since 2015. Now, troopers tell me this bill passing the legislation is a first step in increasing manpower in the department.
For law enforcement, protecting the community is a tough job, but it gets tougher when force numbers are low. Master Sergeant Chris Turnipseed says there are a few reasons that contribute to that.
There's a lot of guys that are on the Mississippi Highway Patrol that are also in the Guard, National Guard, or Reserve. So they have their leave every year, 2 weeks every year for annual training, and then monthly for meeting guard drills, and then in active deployment, they could be on extended from 6 to 9 months leave.
Turnipseed says he's excited that Senate Bill 2698 cleared the House and Senate, but that means the real work begins.
That's good news for us, and we're looking forward to that. We're already making preparations now in the planning phases for after that bill is signed, that we can go ahead and start doing all the things we have to do to get prepared to actually have a school. Of course, you got the interview process, the background checks, the extensive, all the workings and goings on that you have to do to prepare for a school.
According to Turnipseed, the department isn't just looking forward to increasing the manpower, but is ready to have a larger pool of qualified applicants.
And we're always excited about adding new men and women to our forces. And getting them out there and serving the public. There's a lot of people that have shown interest. We get a lot of questions about it all the time when we're going to have it. Now we can actually have an answer. We can say, look, it's soon.
Lower numbers with law enforcement not only hurt the officers, but Turnipseed says it has a bigger impact on
the public. Puts the public in a bad position too sometimes, especially when they're involved in anything out here on the road and they're waiting on an officer to come assist them, or to work an accident, or to help them if they're a stranded motorist and all. Them have to wait a little bit more before they can get some help from us.
Senate Bill 2698 is not an allocation for extra funds. The money for the trooper school will come from funds already obtained by the troopers. The bill is on the governor's desk. Joey?
When we come back, we meet an English teacher who's delivering lessons in more than just good grammar. It's our Educator of the Week after the break. Welcome back, everyone. If you read between the lines, you can tell one teacher in Starkville loves her job. Rebecca Anderson is a 7th grade teacher at Starkville Christian School and our Educator of the Week. She loves delivering a good grammar lesson. Anderson says teaching is her calling and her faith is what has kept her in the classroom for more than 20 years.
She loves the Lord, and it tells in everything that she does. Also, the students know that, and they love her because of that.
I think it needs to be something that you feel led to do. I think God places people in certain things, in certain occupations, and I feel like that He has done that for me.
To nominate a teacher, visit our website, wcbi.com. With tomorrow's severe weather potential, it is a good time to program your weather radio or buy one. Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson joins us with more on how you can do that at Kroger in Columbus. Keith?
Meteorologist Keith Gibson here at the Kroger in Columbus up here on 45 North. It's a gorgeous day, mostly sunny, breezy, warm. We're thinking summer, no severe weather, but severe weather is possible this time of year, actually tomorrow. Jacob has more on that coming up in just a few more minutes, but we're programming weather radios here, a special deal with this particular model going on right now. But it doesn't have to be this radio, it has to be any radio that has some technology in it called SAME, Specific Area Messaging and Coding, and that will allow you to get your radio programmed for just your specific location in case we get a warning later on tomorrow or later on this spring. So it's always good to have multiple layers of redundancy when these storms are ripping on through. Gorgeous weather today. Folks will be stopping out here until 6:30. We're programming weather radios. We hope to see you here. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks so much, Keith. Today is the day you want to prepare for severe weather. Tomorrow, a moderate risk for severe weather includes Tupelo and parts of northeast Mississippi. Coming up, we're going to time out the severe weather threat, talk about what hazards we expect, and we'll take it through the area after the break.
WCBI's Educator of the Week is brought to you by Food Giant, where your neighbors are the owners. Your first alert weather forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
Today was a beautiful day out there in northeast Mississippi and west Alabama. Temperatures in Columbus, we're still at 80 degrees at dinner time. It almost feels a little bit like summer out there as we look across the board and see those temperatures. 80 in Columbus, 81 in Amory, 79 in Tupelo. The warmth is there, and it's going to be here to stay for us for the next couple of days. But with that warmth, we're going to bring the chance for storms in here. Here's Doppler radar showing this complex of storms off to our west there. It's going to be the focus for our severe weather over the next 12 to 24 hours. And we can see overnight tonight, this front will move in to west Mississippi. As it does so, it's going to bring the chance for some storms through our area tomorrow morning, and we'll even get a chance at a second round tomorrow afternoon. Here's what the setup is here. We can see these green lines is the south winds helping to bring in that moisture. That's one of the ingredients for storms to form. The jet stream is another, and it's moving right on top of us, helping to give us some shear. And we also have the cold front, which is giving us some lift to help those storms form and be robust at times in our area. And so it's something that we're watching to see how it works out through the day. Now, we will have to watch to our south and see if some storms limit the severe threat in our area. But right now, the Storm Prediction Center has placed a moderate risk for severe weather. It's going to be along the Natchez Traceway here. Tupelo, Euphora, Calhoun City, you guys are in the moderate. The enhanced risk covers the rest of the viewing area, including West Alabama. And so we're going to be watching the severe threat all day tomorrow for that. We think the main threats will be, again, the high winds and the large hail. We also have the tornadoes at high, and that's because some of those storms could be supercells that are rotating and producing them. Here's what the timeline is. Round 1 will bring 4 a.m. to 11 a.m. We'll bring gusty winds and large hail in. That first line of storms is going to weaken as it moves off to the east. And then round 2 will start after lunch and last through much of the evening. This is where we think we can get tornadoes, large hail, and winds. But the wild card is going to be the storms in the coast and whether or not they limit that threat. Watch here as the storms move through tomorrow morning. By 7 a.m., I think they'll be lined up on the Alabama border. And then we're going to watch storms throughout the afternoon as well. Here's those storms to our south. If we get some of those, they could limit the storms and the moisture in our area, and that would mean less coverage, but still some storms throughout the afternoon. We can see the Futurecast then picking up on storms developing in the afternoon. That's going to be about dinner time as it moves into West Alabama and clears out tomorrow night for us. One real quick note here, if we do have to go into tornado coverage, you can check out these radio stations, 103.1 Nash, you can do Nash FM as well as 106.4 and 99.9, and then we're going to have the 7-day forecast. Once we get through these storms, we'll have a nice Friday, Saturday, and Sunday there. Monday, though, that chance for storms does come back. We're going to go ahead and toss it to Robbie, who's on the other side of that storm system, and he's down in Dallas, Texas for us. Robbie?
Jacob, the weather's fairly nice here in Dallas, and we're getting you set for UConn, Mississippi State. That's on Friday, but we'll have that preview a little bit more with the Bulldogs coming up next in sports.
WCDI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
The Dallas Dogs got back to work Wednesday preparing for its Final Four showdown against UConn. Mississippi State hoping to pull off one of the biggest upsets in sports. WCBI Sports Director Robbie Donahoe got a first look at the Dogs in Dallas and joins us live with more from the Lone Star State.
Tom, good evening. Back here in Dallas. Actually, more technically, we are in Irving, but I wanted to give you the full Dallas experience, which is traffic. And there's currently none of it because rush hour has already happened, and here I was going to stand in front of cars and show you all the traffic happening. Welcome to live television, ladies and gentlemen, but as you can see just off in the distance right there, that is actually the Dallas area, and you probably can't see American Airlines Center, but that's where we will have the Final Four with the NCAA women's basketball tournament starting on Friday. We'll have press conferences and practices coming up tomorrow. But we actually got a chance to get a sneak peek at Mississippi State earlier this morning as they had a closed practice, but we were the only television station that actually had a chance to check in on that practice at SMU. Mainly, we got to see the Bulldogs running three-man weaves, high-low passing. All of this is going to be very important when you're facing a UConn team that loves to run and that loves to try to beat you inside and outside. So Vic Schaefer obviously trying to show his team how UConn's going to try to beat them, but in the same instance, that's kind of the way that MSU wants to play too. They want to play inside, outside, go into their bigs, try to play outside with their good three-point shooting that they've been able to develop in recent weeks. So keep an eye on it. It's going to be just a great chess match between the Bulldogs and the Huskies. Now, during my time at SMU today, I figured what better way to enjoy my time here in Dallas than catching up with students. They know all about sports, they know about football, but do they know about Mississippi State or the women's Final Four? I put the Mustang students to the test today. Southern Methodist University, home of the Mustangs, a proud, world-renowned school that boasts famous alumni such as Eric Dickerson and Kourtney Kardashian. Okay, maybe not much the last one, but it is a tradition-rich school known for their football program, which once saw one of the great running backs of all time, Doak Walker, tear through the rushing records of college football. Surely a school of 10,000 students know their football and all about Dak Prescott. But do they know their hoops? My quest was to find that they could live up to my high expectations of basketball knowledge, especially on our Dallas Dogs. So can you tell me who that is?
Dak Prescott.
Okay, that's Dak Prescott. Okay, swipe left. Tell me who that guy is.
Oh, God. That's not good.
No clue.
All right. Do you know? Okay, that is the head coach at Mississippi State, Vic Schaefer. Mississippi State's playing in the women's Final Four in Dallas. Do you know where he went to school?
No, but I know he's a quarterback, right?
All right, that's progress. Yeah,
He's good.
Okay. He played at Mississippi State.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
All right, so who is that?
Dak Prescott.
Okay, so y'all know who Dak Prescott is. Swipe left for him. Can you tell me who that is? Do you know where the women's Final Four is this year?
Dallas.
Nice, very nice. Can you tell me any of the teams that are in the women's Final Four?
Connecticut. South Carolina.
Mississippi State plays UConn in the Final Four Friday night.
Okay.
Do you think they can beat them?
Absolutely not.
UConn's gonna win.
Yeah.
UConn's gonna win?
UConn's gonna win. I mean,
No doubt about it.
That's a hard team to beat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everyone's beatable, but.
So I struggled finding any faith in the Bulldogs against the Huskies on Friday, but yet finally I did find someone who knew where Dak Prescott played his college ball.
Dak Prescott.
And do you know where he went to school?
Ooh, it was, gosh, I want to say somewhere in Mississippi or something. Yeah, I'm forgetting the name of the school.
All right, so he went to Mississippi State.
Okay, that's
So
right.
yeah, you're on the right track. And learn, don't trust SMU students when it comes to basketball. I learned my lesson firsthand. We'll have much more with the Bulldogs coming up tonight at 10 and tomorrow morning on Sunrise from here in Dallas on WCBI Sports. Reporting here just outside of Dallas and Irving, Robbie Donahoe for WCBI Sports. Tom, let's toss it back to you in Columbus.
Robbie, all our Mississippi State continues all throughout this week, and that'll do it for right now. With the last of your weather coming up next in news.
WCBI sports coverage of MSU women's basketball is brought to you by OCH Regional Medical Center, Advanced Medicine, Compassionate Care, and Visit Columbus, the city that has it all.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a great night.